When I was a kid, I loved horror. Anything creepy would immediately get my attention. Now that I've got a son, he's exactly the same. Whether we're picking out a book before bed or choosing a movie on Netflix, he'll always search for the creepiest one he can find. But I've noticed recently, every time we visit a bookstore, that nobody writes horror for kids anymore. There are plenty of spooky and Halloween stories, but real risks and scares, the kind that I got in books like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, or some of the creepier Shel Silverstein poems, and in movies like Labyrinth or Neverending Story, seem washed away today. Everything's a little safer, a little tamer. And I'd like to fix that. I'm teaming up with cartoonist Matthew Cousin to write an original collection of short horror stories for kids called Afraid of Everything. The hardcover book features 26 single-page stories and poems, each with an illustration, based on a different A to Z phobia. Check out our Kickstarter page for more info and to download a 10-page preview of the book. We'll also be releasing audiobook recordings of each story throughout the campaign, beginning with one right after this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you support us.
Arachnophobia. Eloise hated her new room. The cracked walls, the dusty floors. Nothing felt right. "You'll get used to it," said her mother, cheerfully folding her teenage daughter's blankets. Eloise noticed a small, wiry spider creeping across her desk. She smashed it under her fist and sighed loudly. Not likely. The next day after school, which was equally awful, Eloise collapsed into her too lumpy bed. Then noticed a pair of spiders loitering on the wall, inches above her pillow. "You're multiplying, I see," said Eloise as she slammed her palm flat against them. But retracting her hand, she saw no spidery remains. Huh. The next day, Eloise felt horrible. Not just about moving or about school, but deep in her stomach, as though her internal organs were strangling one another. Shortly after finishing her lunch, sliced turkey and mashed peas, her lunch decided to return, spewed across the table as a soupy green goop. As Eloise died of embarrassment, not literally, she noticed a tiny 8-legged gob of peas scurry out of the mess. After a week of itchy eyelids, peeling skin, and unexplained nausea, her mother took Eloise to the hospital. The doctor smiled reassuringly, like someone's grandpa, as he fetched her X-ray results. But when he returned, his face looked pale and worried. Deep inside Eloise's stomach, Tabitha was hating her new room. The fleshy walls, the veiny floors, nothing felt right. "You'll get used to it," said her mother, cheerfully spinning a web for her teenage daughter. Tabitha sighed loudly. "Not likely."